Story 1. Invite people behind my back, then get stranded. This is a story about my Aunt Kay. Her trying to get me to drive and pay for her friends without telling me first. This happened around 2018. A relative had died and my mom and I were going to go to their wake. We're in the Philippines, so the wake is 23 weeks. My mom goes first to help set up the wake, and I would go in our car to pick up an elderly relative, Nana. Nana and the dead relative were sisters, but since she has mobility issues, traveling is a no-go. My vehicle is a big help for her, pick her up, and then we'll take the boat. Schedule is I pick up other relatives, then Aunt Kay, then Nana. The other relatives aren't important here as they were mostly spectators to what happened. I've been driving for about 5 hours and set to pick up Kay. She tells me the location and I waited there for about an hour. We were good on time, but I hated being made to wait. She arrives along with 8 other women, each lugging a backpack and suitcase. My car can seat 8 people, including the driver, and then luggage in the back. Before Kay, there was me, 3 relatives, and their luggage. I made sure there's more than enough room for Nana as she requires a wheelchair and one person accompanying her. I asked Kay WTF she was doing, and she tells me they're ready. I just stare at her, contemplating whether the violence would be physical or verbal. She tells me that she told her gal friends that she's going on a trip and then asked them if they wanted to go. They all said yes. I don't know what else she told them, but apparently I'd be the one paying for their fare and other accommodations as they kept cooing at me for being so generous. I wasn't happy with her, mainly because she's treating this as a fun vacation when it isn't. The passengers in the car aren't happy with her, but they know to keep their mouths shut. Not because they don't want to get involved, but Kay becomes a screaming banshee when told she's wrong. I told her off for expecting me to fund her gal vacation and for disrespecting the nature of our trip. There were so many things I wanted to do and say, but I wanted to get away before I do anything else I'd regret later. Then petty revenge. So I calmly gave her enough money for the taxi and boat fare. Then sped off. I had no problem paying for everything on the trip, but I wasn't as shit going to do that to people I don't know. I'm not a pushover. She did try to run after me, but she only got a few steps before giving up. Now you're wondering why I'd give her money. It's because I know she'll give a sob story to everyone in the family chat. If I'm asked what I did, I'd tell them I did give her money for the trip. Then she'd be told, Mustard gave you money, didn't he? Then what's the problem? I picked Nana up, and when she asked where Kay was, I told her the entire event. All Nana said was that she never liked the drunk bitch. When I arrived at the wake, my mom asked me what happened, and after explaining myself, she just went to playing cards. Kay arrived a week later. She had to beg mom for money as she gave her friends what I gave her as an apology. Turns out she didn't bring any other cash with her. She had to pay for her gal pal's trip back home and then gave them some cash as an apology. She actually waited for me for about an hour thinking I'd turn back. When her sobbing and whining in the family chat got her nothing but a verbal RKO, she sent a long video of herself crying on the sidewalk. Entire wake and funeral and days after she was giving me the stink eye and bitching about me to everyone she could. Mostly everyone ignored her, so she would go and get drunk. Nana enjoyed herself, cried a lot. She's still alive despite nearing 90, and aside her mobility problems, she's in good health. To this day, Kay doesn't ever want to tell me what made her think inviting 8 people without informing me was a good idea. Edit Nana isn't my grandmother, more of a grandaunt. Nana dislikes Kay because Kay used to be such a heavy drinker she'd black out. This happened during a family reunion. Kay was so drunk and out of it that she started a fight with another relative. Nana got roped in as she was trying to calm Kay down. Kay instead attacked Nana. Kay was held down by other relatives, and to this day refused to acknowledge what she did. Kay doesn't drink as much as back then apparently, but it's still being brought up by others. Drazaloo says, nice one, blocking her from your car and from complaining about you after. She's definitely put in her place. Fired Mia says, never liked that drunk bitch Nana got bars Apple Blossom 1962 says, it is wonderful that you have a great relationship with Nana. I miss mine. When you do see her, ask her to tell you family stories and record them. When she is gone, many if those stories are gone too. Your aunt ended up with egg on her face and she deserves it. I wonder what the next get-together with her friends was like. Story 2 long distance. Fuckery, this happened just recently. A woman in a southern state got my login information for a big box store from some data breach and tried to go on a shopping spree. I was able to catch it within 10 minutes of the first order being placed because I'm an avid email checker, canceled it and removed all payment methods from that account while also updating login methods, etc. After filing a police report and knowing the time frame for something like this to be taken care of, I pondered for a moment what I could do with the full name and address of this woman. So I made some assumptions regarding her political leanings in a southern state and signed her up to receive physical mailers from the DNC, multiple pro-choice organizations, and LGBTQ organizations. ETA for those concerned, I just hounded an unbeknownst victim I confirmed with the sheriff when I filed the report. She has a history of violations and was dumb enough to use her full name and real address. Resting Loaf Pose says, if you put in for a mortgage quote online, you will have calls for months. Hangover Grenade says, someone on this sub said to sign them up for quotes to transport a car across the country. Those folks are relentless. Anonymous says, sign them up for everything. All sides, every religion, every sales call, every solicitor. Thanks for watching. I love you. Follow Reddit Echoes for more.